Hello, and welcome to today's session on bilingualism. As more and more people communicate on a global level due to travel or business purposes, there has been an increased interest in learning a second language. Some have started from an early age, resulting in a better overall understanding of the emotional and social contexts of the second language, while others have taken up a second language in adulthood. Learning a language at a later stage in life has shown that adults approach language issues in the second language more analytically or rationally than their first language, and in a less biased, emotional fashion than exhibited in young language learners. This session aims to define what it means to have a bilingual brain. So let's start with a definition of bilingualism. Being bilingual or knowing more than one language means that your brain may work and look differently to that of your monolingual counterparts. To explain this, you need to ask yourself what knowing a language actually means. Do you need to focus on pronunciation, on grammar, on how to communicate, or on all of the above? That's right, the answer is all of the above. Acquiring a language means having both a receptive and productive knowledge of it. By receptive, I mean focusing on reading and listening skills. By productive, I mean speaking and writing. If you speak two languages or are multilingual, your knowledge of the skills are not always balanced and used in equal proportion. Most bilinguals or multilinguals use their skills in a disproportional fashion. For example, you may find that some bilingual learners find they are more forthcoming with one skill than another, even though they know how to function in both areas. This generally happens as a consequence of their circumstance and how they came to learn the language or languages in the first place. Let me give you some scenarios to better explain my point. There are three types of bilinguals. Imagine a toddler who has immigrated with his siblings and parents to a new country where another language is spoken. This child, because of his experience, will probably develop two linguistic systems at the same time. His first language, as well as the second language, will be used simultaneously as he tries to process what is happening around him. And he will know both languages equally well and process them to fit any situation. This child is referred to as a compound bilingual, working in two languages but with one set of concepts and with no distinction between the linguistic codes of the two languages he is working with. A second scenario is the following. The same child has an older sister, slightly older, and attending school in the new country. Because of her particular situation, the teenager already knows her first language quite well and needs to be able to function in the second language to attend school and be part of the general school community. She finds herself working with two sets of concepts as she speaks the second language at school while continuing to communicate with friends and family in the first language outside the school environment. This means the sister belongs to the group of coordinate bilinguals. The third scenario focuses on the parents. They pertain to the group of subordinate bilinguals, where they start to learn the second language by making associations with their first language and filtering it through their first language. Needless to say, their first language will dominate their daily life. All three types of bilinguals can reach a high linguistic competence in all their languages, but their proficiency can change depending on their motivations and context, as these play a significant role in their bilingual development throughout their lives. If you would like to explore more on any of the topics discussed, click on the links provided at the end of this unit. As always, remember to observe what is happening in your classes and be a reflective practitioner.